a couple words for the camera.
Man, f your cam. Nah, I'm f***ing with you. Come on. Hey, yo, check it out, man. I'm Tupac. I'm chilling here with my homeboy, the notorious B.I.G. on the scene. We about to take y'all by storm. Give them some.
True that, true that. You know, I'm chilling with my man Pac, who helped school me to the game.
Yeah,
and
they
shit.
know who it is.
You know what I'm saying? Now we about to wreak havoc on you motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? Sean Dawn sipping. You know what I mean? Frank White, peace holder.
Yeah.
Rolex diamond. You know what it is. Nigga.
Get some. We taking your money and buying your money.
That's right.
Come get some, mother.
Yeah. What is up? What is up? What is up? How are y'all doing? I'm Tupac. Yeah. I'm Tupac. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? It is your boy, Epoch. Yeah. How y'all doing? Listen, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Like, y'all good? Y'all good? I know. Listen, I already know that y'all was here. And you didn't know that we was going to have us a surprise live, but yes, we just had to do it. There was too much going on. You know, I'm sitting at work. I'm seeing all this news coming out. And I was like, yo, I got to come show out for the peoples. I got to come here for the E-Live crew. Come on now. Got to do it for the E-Fam because I'm Tupac. Yeah. Because this is what y'all like, right? Y'all like Tupac, right? This is it, right? Okay, well, listen, I told y'all I didn't know what I was going to dress up as, so I figured I'll go ahead and, it's a day after, so I think I still got a little leeway, right? Like, I think we still good, right? Okay, so I think I'm cool in terms of the time frame, but anyway, welcome, one and all, to one of the best live chats on all of YouTube. I am your host, Emmanuel Noisette, or Epoch, or Tupac. Yeah. Whatever you want to call me is fine by me. But y'all, we have got so much news to talk about. And honestly, there was a big article that dropped from Variety. And there was so many little nuggets, so many little topics that was in there. I was like, look, I was going to wait till Friday. Hold on. Let me get my big chain. Y'all see my little chain, my big chain? I want to make sure I get that out there. Okay. But there were so many things that we had to talk about that I was like, you know what? We're just going to talk about this one article and all the little things, that they, cover. And that stuff with Captain Marvel. We're talking about a lot more red flags, and I've been telling y'all about the red flags for a minute now. We got the red flags. With that, we got Blade information. We'll talk about Blade. We got maybe the OG Avengers potentially. We got rumors and speculation about all the stuff going on in Marvel. A lot of stuff we've talked about and we've suspected. And then we got to talk about Jonathan Majors, y'all. There's been some more news that has come out recently. It's not that great. It's not that great. But first and foremost, if you're new here, let me just tell you how things go down. We go through the topics, and then once we're done with that, if you guys have questions, obviously you could submit them. I will try to do my best to get to them. But if you do want to talk, if you want to chat, if you want to have your thoughts also be known on here, all you got to do is subscribe. Yes, that's it. It's free 99, no charge, no nothing like that. Come on now, your boy Epoch ain't gonna do y'all wrong like that. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button, and you can go ahead and comment with the rest of the E-Fam. And if you stay a little longer, you can just be part of the E-Fam. Why not? It's fine. We're nice peoples. Okay, we are nice folk around here. But I have to give some shout outs real quick to a lot of the folks that have made it out. I know this was super impromptu. I know y'all wasn't expecting it. I wasn't either. Hold on, let me fix the chain because I'm not used to having such a big chain. Y'all see me with my jewelry. Usually, I gotta make sure this is good. Okay. But let's see who was able to make it out last minute. I appreciate y'all so much. Here we go. My man Dex is back in the building. What's going on, brother? Thank you so much. I'm Cyclops. How you doing? I think that's my man Bo right there. We got my man Brandon K. Avery, Just My Opinion Reviews. Bougie, how you doing? Good to see you. Michael, good to see you as well. We got the homie Kimmy, how you doing? Arctic, what's up? Raymond, how you doing? J Mart, how you doing? Carl, hello. Matto, what's up? Come on, it wouldn't be alive without Ms. Harper holding it down for the Mod Squad. Thank you so much for being here. Johnny Washington, my man, what's going on? Christy, good to see you again. Team Tech Boys in the building. Thank you so much. Of course, we got Mama J here too. Thank you so much for being here. My man Didier, how you doing? Good to see you. Zia Latrice is back. Good to see you as well. Last of my kin, how you doing? Haitian brethren, J.N., how you doing? Who else we got? Wilbur, what's up? How are you? Darth, how you doing? We got the Mod Squad with S.J. Evans. Good to see you. Tasha, good to see you as well. Thank you so much. Talented One, good to see you as well. Wait, let me go. Namesake, how you doing? Good to see you too. Marriage, Politics, and Sports, good to see you. We got more of the Mod Squad with Chris and Pratt. How you doing, man? Thank you so much. By the way, y'all make sure if you like what you see, if you like what's going on, go ahead and, hit the like button. It just helps the brother out. It helps the channel. My man Dre is back. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Sunspot, how you doing? Clay, what's up? Who else we got? Samantha, good to see you. Steven, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Trees, how you doing? Isms Kism, hello. Schism. Majin, what's up? How are you? We got my man Angel back in here. What's going on for the Mod Squad? Gumbo, good to see you. Soto, I see you as well. Let's see. I see my man Chris, Marcus, Shar, Tyra, T, Blue, Dwight, and my man CJ, Raymond, and T-Ville. Yo, shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight. I really do appreciate it. Y'all have no idea. So thank you for taking the time to hang out with your boy. All right, let's get to these comments, and then we're going to jump into it. Let's see. Natalie, work was awful today. Needed this. Well, Natalie, I'm so happy. Hey, look, keep your head up. You get it? You keep your head up, I crack myself up. Natalie, it's all good. We got you covered. You are in the place to be. Yes. Anthony, this is your fault. Once again. Talk about some. Listen, this ain't hate. This is not hate. Okay. I told you I'm Tupac. Okay. I'm Anthony Mackie Tupac. So, you got to take it because this is what y'all asked for. You put that energy out there. This is what you're going to get. Okay. This is what you're going to get. So thank you so much, Anthony, for being here. I appreciate you. Dwight, Mackie would be proud. Maybe he will be. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody tag him and let him know. But yeah, we'll see about that. JM, what you got? Well done, E-Man. Well done. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I literally came up with all this like last night. So shout out to Amazon because y'all getting this right back. Second, this is gone back in. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't skip nobody there. I think I got everyone there. We caught up. Okay, hold on. Okay, all right. Marriage, your bandana's on backwards. The tie needs to be in the front. So here's the thing. I tried that, but the way my head is shaped and set up, it wasn't staying properly. So I had to do the next best thing. So yeah. And I've seen, I did a little research. I've seen Pac wear it like this too. So I say no foul. Now listen, I tried to do it, with the ties and stuff in the front. I tried, but listen, I've struggled with a lot on my mind for a long time. Okay. Ever since I came out the womb, I had a lot on my mind. Okay. But yeah, so please don't, forgive me. I did try, and I didn't have time to go to the beauty supply to get the extra large bandana. I'm literally chasing my daughter like, yo, which one? Give me whatever you got. And they got regular size heads. I don't. So I tried. I did try. Thank you so much, though. Appreciate you. Kiki, what's going on? Even the way he said F your camera is hilarious. Like, I can't take him seriously. This y'all boy. Like I mean, My man went from MLK to Tupac. So, you know, this what y'all want. This what y'all be demanding. Ms. McKeever, I got questions about the sorbet satin shirt. Listen, don't ask no questions. Direct them all to Amazon. They know better than I do. Because yeah, I just first of all, I was just lucky that they even had this. I was shocked. So shocked. Thank you so much. Sim, what you got? So excited for the midweek live. Smiling from ear to ear. Thank you so much, Sim, for your constant support. I really do appreciate it. And yes, like I said, this was just, it was too much news and it was too fast. And I was just like, yo, we cannot just sit on this for like another day and a half. It's just too much going on. So we had to talk about it. If there are any updates, we'll add it to the Friday live. We already got the Friday live, you know, with the Loki recap, and that Loki is going to be something. So we got enough to do on Friday, but we got to do this now. You know, we got to do this now. All right. David said, when's the album dropping? November 15th. Yeah, make sure you go check that out. You know what I'm saying? It's on all streaming platforms and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Tidal, Apple, you know, all of that. Just go ahead and get that. SoundCloud, even for, you know, the mixtapes. You got it. All right, what else we got here? All right, let's go ahead and grab our first topic, which is the main topic too. Is Marvel in crisis? Because now, oh my gosh, this article that just came from Variety, where is it at here? Okay, this article here, my goodness, yo, this got everybody, like all the people, all the internet talkers, all the, you know, fan, everybody online right now is like, oh my goodness, because of what Variety just dropped. And here's the thing, if you've been following this channel, a lot of this stuff we already talked about, we already speculated on, or we've covered to some degree. I think what is nice about this, that we finally have this, you know, as being reported by a big outlet like Variety, it kind of adds a little bit more validation. Now, here's the thing. This doesn't mean that every single thing in this article is true. But I do think that what brings this to a little bit higher significance than some random person online, you know, commenting on it is, if it's not true, then you're going to see a lot of outlets rushing to correct it. Because Variety, at least we would hope, just like Deadline, just like Hollywood Reporter, we would hope that they have done their research and that they've talked to trusted sources, and they're not just going to be out here reckless just for clickbait. That's the hope. They have built a reputation of at least trying to be reputable in that sense. I'm not saying Variety gets everything right. I'm not saying that they are perfect at all. I'm just saying that because we're dealing with a bigger outlet here, if some of this is not true, Marvel gonna have to speak up, or some other outlet is gonna correct them. But anyway, we're here right now. So now we're talking about the crisis, and this supposed crisis really kind of goes back all the way to the pandemic. This is not just something like right now. This is really like everything that's been going on since phase 4, you know, in 2020. So we're going to go through this article right here, talk about a couple things. I am going to jump around a little bit, but, you know, I've broken it up in different sections. So first, we're going to talk about the Marvel state and like what's been going on with Marvel. Let me get here for you. So first off, it says here that this past summer, a group of Marvel creatives, including Kevin Feige, the chief, assembled in Palm Springs for the studio's annual retreat. Now, I have talked about this annual retreat to y'all before. Basically, this is where Marvel's able to powwow and really get things together. And a long time ago, we had a report that at the more recent powwow, they were supposed to be talking about how to explain. No, I'm sorry. This was 2 years ago. They were talking about how to explain the multiverse to general audiences. Now, I don't know if they've done the best job with that. Do y'all think Marvel has explained the multiverse in a very clear understanding way where you can kind of understand, like you could just get it. I still think they kind of struggle a little bit with it. I mean, Loki right now, listen, I had to watch Loki like maybe 2-3 times just to really understand, like, okay, that's the sacred timeline, and then but you carry the one, and then that's the alternate timeline, but that timeline don't matter because okay. So it's a lot going on, but Marvel does go to these little, meetups or these retreats and this is really just the top executives mostly. So it's Kevin Feige, it's Nate Moore, it's all these other people that really control how the overarching narrative goes. They go there to figure this out. And I'm assuming they probably keep everybody else, like all the directors and stuff like that, in the dark, because the directors, they really bring them in just to work on the movie and get out. They be like, look, work on this. You can do this. You can't do this. And that's it. But, we've also talked about how Marvel is changing some of their plans and stuff. But let's get back to more of the crisis here in terms of what else has been plaguing Marvel, because we do have some insight here. So the article goes on to say here, replicating that kind of phenomenon is never easy. And what they're talking about is the phenomenon of the MCU having all this, success. Keep in mind, Marvel has earned nearly $30 billion over 32 films. I need y'all to conceptualize that for a second. $30 billion with 32 films. Now, of course, some films earn more money than others, but as a studio, as a product, as a business, that is unheard of. That is ridiculous. And this is one of the reasons why I try to remind y'all, we are in the middle of something historic. We are witnessing something on the cinematic landscape that has never been done before. It's almost like watching Michael Jordan play. And as a Chicago fan, I would sit here and watch Michael play every single game, every single championship, and I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, we finna win this. Oh yeah, MJ got this. He gonna take care of it. Because I was in the middle of it, I didn't realize how historic, how amazing that was. It's not until after the fact when you don't see another MJ for a long time. Shout out to Kobe, but it's after that when you're like, dang, that really was special. So what they're doing right now is something that is so ridiculously unique that it's hard to replicate what they did, because all they're doing is starting up a new level of comparisons. And the only people they can compare with at this point is themselves, right? So Marvel has to beat phase 1 through 3. That's what they have to beat. And phase 4 is not a good start off right now. Anyway, it says here, replicating that kind of phenomenon is never easy. However, the source of Marvel's current troubles can be tracked back to 2020. This is during the pandemic, which ushered in a mandate to help boost Disney's stock price with an endless torrent of interconnected Marvel content for the studio's fledgling streaming platform, Disney Plus. According to the plan, there would never be a lapse in superhero fare with either a film in theaters or new television streaming at any given moment. So, what does that mean? This is one of those things that I try to tell y'all. The reason why phase 4 one of the reasons is because Marvel tried to do too much too fast, and it was because of the pandemic. Disney, who is the parent company of Marvel, Bob Chapek at the time, was like, yo, streaming is the future. So now we have to do more streaming to boost up Disney's stock. Well, what's Kevin Feige gonna do? Kevin Feige's gonna listen to his boss, because Bob Iger was gone, and do what the mandate was, which is, okay, the big boss at Disney wants more movies and they want more TV shows for the streaming platform. Now, some of the streaming stuff was cool. WandaVision, great. Loki, great. Falcon and Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, like it was hit or miss. But at the same time, this was too much for Marvel. And you're talking about a company that when they were rolling with phase 1 through 3, we would get maybe 1 or 2 movies in a year, maybe 3. And then that was enough time for them to like sit, marinate, fix any issues, do the quality control. They still had some misses, but they had more time to do what they needed to do. So now that they had like, I want to say they almost had like 7 projects or something like that. It was like, and that was like just in 2021. They had like 7 things going at the same time. That's unheard of for them versus only working on maybe 1 or 2 projects in a year. So yeah, they was doing way too much too fast, and it caught up with them. It caught up with them bad. It says here the demands of churning out so much programming taxed the Marvel apparatus. Moreover, the need to tease out an interwoven storyline over so many disparate shows, movies, and platforms created a muddled narrative that baffled viewers. Yeah, I cannot disagree with that because I don't know about y'all, but have y'all ever thought about what Moon Knight means to the MCU? I was just sitting back thinking about like, we sat here and talked about Moon Knight, and Moon Knight ain't had nothing to do with the multiverse. It ain't had nothing to do with like time travel and nothing like that. It ain't deal with nobody else. I don't even think we ain't seen no Avengers or nothing. Why was Moon Knight even here? Now I understand that they wanted to sit here and talk about all the spiritual stuff and the gods and all. I get that. But I'm like, nothing else connect to that. Nothing else. Maybe Werewolf by Night, maybe, but even then, nah. So yeah, again, too much too fast, and by the time we get to whatever might connect to it, some people might lose interest, and that might be happening already. Let's see. Wall Street analyst Eric Handler, who covers Disney, he also said the more you do, the tougher it is to maintain quality. They tried experimenting with breaking in some new characters like Shang-Chi and the Eternals, with mixed results. With budgets as big as these, you need home runs, and that is absolutely true. But I will still give them credit for trying new things. I always give Marvel credit for trying to go the more art house route with Eternals, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But at least they tried something new. They tried something different. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. A great example of when they do try something new, I would say, is probably Captain America Winter Soldier. Didn't have a whole lot of superhero stuff in it, and it worked just fine because it felt like the first time a comic book movie didn't feel like a comic book movie, felt like a spy espionage movie, and that was a great win for them, right? But now we go into the process of how Marvel operates behind the scenes. Again, we kind of suspected this, but now we have a little more confirmation. It says Kevin's real superpower, his genius, has always been in post-production and getting his hands on movies and making sure they are finished strongly. This is according to whatever source Variety was talking to. And they said these days he's spread thin. Oh my gosh. How many times? I know y'all heard that from me before. I know you've heard me sit here and say, yes, Kevin Feige is still to blame. Don't get my words twisted now, because 2 things can be true. Kevin Feige was spread way too thin because Disney wanted him to make 50-11 things for Disney Plus. Forget the quality. And for Kevin Feige, the way he used to work is people would make the movie, and then once it was done, he would come in after and he would mix stuff up, change up the order, add things in the post credit. And this is again something I've told y'all about before. Marvel always works until the last minute. They will not stop changing their stuff, their movies, all the way until the movie hits the big screen. So once again, for all those people out there that used to try to give us grief when we was talking about recast T'Challa, change up the story or whatever, just because something's in post-production, Marvel's not done. They can always, and they have always continued to change things after the fact, sometimes for the better, and we're about to find out sometimes not so much for the best. It says here Marvel's entire VFX battalion is struggling to keep pace with a never-ending stream of productions. Ant-Man, the sequel, they swapped Ant-Man with the Marvels in terms of scheduling, but what ended up happening was it pushed up its post-production schedule by 4.5 months. That means Marvel films are known for coming down to the wire, given Feige's ability to what they call foam the runway and land a plane that way. But this level of unfinished was unprecedented, and they're talking more so about the bad VFX that we saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And then, of course, this goes back to the story that we talked about with Victoria Alonso. She used to be one of the big 3, big 4 top executives at Marvel. And remember, the story that was reported was that she was basically blacklisting VFX workers and basically making them work overtime without extra pay and stuff like that, having unreasonable deadlines and things. So what ended up happening was, according to the reports anyway, Disney/Marvel blamed Victoria Alonso for working on another movie, Argentina 1985. They said because she was working on that, she didn't have enough time to work on the VFX that was so bad in She-Hulk or Quantumania, etc. So now she refutes all of that, of course. But this over here says the VFX logjam had been evident for some time, with some final effects for such Disney Plus series like WandaVision and She-Hulk inserted after their streaming debuts. Now, I don't know if y'all recall when She-Hulk first came out. Don't y'all remember that first episode of She-Hulk? Or maybe it was in the trailer, and we were sitting here like, something don't look right. Like, something's off with She-Hulk. Like, she doesn't look good, right? And then after that episode came out, Marvel, I guess better late than never, they went back and fixed it. So now if you go and watch it, it's a lot cleaner compared to when we first saw it that first time that it debuted. So, it is what it is with that. It goes on with the VFX stuff, but some internal sources suggest Alonso was a scapegoat and point to the She-Hulk VFX issues as a symptom of a deeper rot, namely a lack of oversight on script development. Kevin Feige. In the original arc of She-Hulk, a flashback of star Tatiana Maslany transformation into her Hulk character didn't take place until episode 8, the penultimate episode. But after Marvel's brain trust watched the footage, it realized the scene needed to happen in the pilot right in the beginning, so that the audience could see more of the character's backstory early. That meant that the VFX team was tasked with fixing the mess in post-production. Wow. So here's the problem. Yes, you could sit here and say, we have this deadline to get these VFX done, right, for She-Hulk, but if if Kevin Feige and his other people come in and they're watching it and they're like, okay, yeah, we know episode 8 got to get done, but we got another month or 2 months for this to, for them to finish the work. And you start watching it and you're like, you know what? We don't really like this. Let's put episode 8 on episode 1 instead. Well, if episode 8 now becomes 1 and episode 8 was supposed to get 2 more months of time, now you're rushing the VFX people And that's why we get stuck with like the boo-boo stuff. And again, I agree with whatever this article was saying. That's on you. How come you didn't get that from the script? You have to wait until y'all shoot and y'all edit and y'all direct all this stuff, and that's when you want to play mismatch paddywhack with all these with these scenes. No, you can't do that. That's not okay. Y'all need to have a better plan. Now we do know, and we've heard reports that they are changing their plans, but this is just a mess in terms of how they were operating. And I think that it definitely explains why Phase 4 had so many noticeable struggles, at least from our perspectives. It says here the so-called bad VFX we see was because of half-baked scripts, says one person who was involved with She-Hulk. That is not Victoria. That is Kevin, aka Kevin Feige. And even above Kevin Feige, those issues should be addressed in pre-production. The timeline is not allowing the Marvel executives to sit with the material. Yikes. So, yes, Kevin Feige, that is on him because he needs to look at those scripts. He needs to look at the production. He needs to make those executive decisions like this is good, take this out, whatever, before they start actually shooting and paying, artists to fix it up or whatever. But according to this, it's also saying that whoever was above Kevin also got some of that blame. Now, this is something I want to remind y'all of. Back in the day when Bob Iger, before he left, it was basically Kevin Feige, Bob Iger. There was no middleman in between. Kevin Feige was given all creative control to do whatever he needed to do. And that's pretty much how we got Phase 1 through 3, right? But when Bob Iger left and when Bob Chapek stepped in, Bob Chapek decided to bring some of his boys in, probably from the banking world or whatever, distribution, and he put them as a middleman right in between. So Kevin Feige didn't just report straight up to Bob Chapek the same way he did with Iger. He had to go report to whoever these new random non-creative business guys were, and they made certain decisions. And again, Kevin Feige is a company man. He's going to follow orders or whatever. Now, he still get the blame, but let's not forget there were other parties involved too. Blame Chapek. All right, what else do we have here? Okay. So now here's the question. With all the mess that's been going on with with Marvel, actually, you know what? No, let's go to this first before we go into the mess or the potential cleanup. There was one more thing to ask, which is like, yo, is Marvel done? Is this the time where we should sit here and be like, yo, Marvel's had problem after problem after problem? What? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? She hasn't seen Epoch.
Oh, Jesus help us.
This is the first time she's seen me, so.
Yeah, because your wife has learned.
Yes. Okay. So, anywho, while some people might be asking, is Marvel done? Like what can stop staring at me? Go away. The question is Marvel done? Are they done? Okay. Got me all off my square. It says here, writing the Marvel obituary would be ill-advised. And this is coming from Jason Squire, a professor at USC School of Cinematic Arts. And he says Kevin Feige is the Babe Ruth of movie executives, and Marvel has the most profitable track record in movie history, no question. And he's right. He's right. That, like I said before, nobody's done this before, And I think what we need to remember is that, Marvel and Kevin Feige, the way they kind of came out the gate, again, unprecedented. And I will probably use a boxing analogy here. In my opinion, Marvel was like Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson first came out, this dude was tearing people up. He was the scariest man on the planet. Not one person wanted to step in the ring with Mike Tyson and act like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be an easy match. Okay, I mean, watching Mike Tyson, that used to scare me. I felt like I was getting hit half of the time. And he was an unstoppable force until Buster Douglas. You know, when Buster Douglas came and like knocked Mike out, people was like, what? Who? First of all, who? What? How? Right? So, in other words, the pandemic and phase 4 is like Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. And what ended up happening was after that knockout, people was like, oh, so Mike is human. So he isn't just an unstoppable, crazy force of nature. He's still dangerous, but he can be taken down. So now this is where people are kind of being like, oh, okay, Marvel isn't perfect. Marvel does have flaws. And that's always been the case. But because of the heights that we've seen them reach, now we have to kind of adjust our expectations with them. So, yes, I agree that Marvel has had some great success in the past, and then they've had some recent like trip ups for real. But nobody's saying that they about to be dead for real. Like, if you think Marvel's down and out, you don't know the film industry and you have not paid enough attention to how Marvel adapts to anything that happens. They've made mistakes before, but unlike other studios that keep doing the same dumb stuff over and over and over again, Marvel changes. And we talked about this before where we had the report about Marvel changing up how they're going to do TV. Now they're going to sit here and be like, yo, we're not going to have our movie executives come in and no. We're going to go back to the old formula for TV. We're going to go back to what used to work and has been working. We're going to go ahead and get people that know the TV stuff, that can come up with a show Bible, that are there from beginning all the way to the end, that's not going to be hunkered down by this executive. No, we're doing it the right way. And that is something that we have to give them credit for. We also have to give them credit for when Bob Iger came back and he was like, you know what? We're doing too much. We have to slow down. Everybody don't need a sequel, Ant-Man. Everybody don't need a sequel, man. So again, these are positive signs that at the very least, Marvel is learning from their mistakes and hopefully they will get better. So we're going to end this portion of it right here. What do y'all think about these insights and these speculations and different perspectives that were brought in about the trips and falls of Marvel during the pandemic up today? Does this change your perspective on Marvel? Does it give you new insight? Maybe whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, speaking of comments, let me grab some of these here before we move on. DJ, what you got? I'm glad you on tonight. Been a minute for me on Friday. Thank you, DJ. It's all good. I hope you had a great show. I know I saw your message. I didn't have time to respond. I hope you had a great set, man. Thank you so much. Let's see. Derek, what you got? Thank you so much, brother. Sorry I missed the beginning, E-Man. It sounds like you, but something is different. It's the shirt. It's too early for E-Man after dark. You're leaving mother's milk in the dust, E-Man, aka Golly, who's the Mac? Yes, no, sir. That's not exactly what it is. I would recommend that you go ahead and we rewind it all the way back to the beginning, and it'll make perfect sense as to why I am dressed the way I am. You can thank your fellow E-fam for this as well. But like I said before, hold on, I gotta fix the chain. Okay, gotta fix the chain. Okay. But no, Halloween was yesterday. Didn't have time, but we here now. But thank you so much, brother, for the support. Really, really appreciate you. Nelson, why nobody tell me you live tonight, E-Man? Because it was a surprise. I didn't tell me either. I was literally sitting at work. I'm reading all this, and I'm like, do I want to wait until Friday? Do I really want to take this time to, you know what? Let me just do this now. We only got like 4 topics, but we're going to go through it. So no 3-hour lives. We ain't doing that tonight. But yeah, we're going to go through these and knock these out. Well, we got Anthony. I think I read somewhere that Moon Knight not being connected to anything was the only way Oscar Isaac would sign on because he wanted them to be able to do whatever. That could be true. I think I might have read that too, but you know, that makes sense. But my thing is more so like it's not so much about Moon Knight directly connecting to something else. Like I'm not saying, you know, the Moon Knight show was supposed to lead up to another movie. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying the elements that were introduced in Moon Knight, I don't feel like any of those things have mattered in this in the MCU. So but yeah, I feel you on that. Thank you so much. Nelson, what you got? Annoyed by Disney releasing a Loki trailer. Yes, and I apologize because I also released that trailer. I didn't watch it when I released it because I thought it was just a regular old, you know, recap thing. I had no idea that the mid-season trailer, do not watch it. The mid-season trailer sits here and literally spoils everything. And I'm like, Disney, there's got to be a disconnect with Marvel Studios and whoever's doing the marketing. Once again, the advertising is like failing. You left us with one of the best cliffhangers that we've had in a long time on a Disney Plus show. Everybody and their mama that's watched Loki is guaranteed to watch episode 5 so we can see what happens next. Why would you show what happens next? All you had to do was just show a recap of like everybody like, oh no, what happened? Oh no, the explosion, and say, tune in tomorrow to find out. That's all you had to do. But y'all, oh man, the marketing team, it's almost like they scared and they just don't trust the process. It's like sometimes y'all like stop following the marketing textbook. Just get a this is why Marvel be missing the pulse of like how actual people feel. Because y'all clearly don't understand stuff, and you just looking at, well, according to Marketing 101, we have to do a follow-up trailer. No, you don't. Sometimes less is more. Anyway, Didier, what you got? Marvel is having problems, but if DC had these problems, they would be popping champagne bottles. This is also true. This is why I say that Marvel is very unique, and their level of success is not the same level of success for other people. Their failures are not the same failures for other studios. I mean, Marvel could literally sit here and be like, oh man, we only made 400 million. That's bad. Whereas another studio be like, yeah, number 1 on iTunes. Yeah. I'm not going to name no names, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely different levels to all of this. And right now, Marvel's all the way at the top and everybody's still trying to play catch up. So you're not wrong on that at all, Didier. Thank you so much. Alib, Epoch, your do-rag is slip. Oh, thank you. I got, don't be, look, Sheree went straight to bed. You saw it soon as she was cacking over here. She in bed right now. She don't need to help nobody. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. I haven't worn a do-rag in years. Okay, so yeah, it's all an experience, but thank you. Derek, Epoch, let's hear some bars about Marvel. I am not a rapper. That is not what you want to hear from me. I am not a rapper whatsoever. I'm listen, I would need 3 months just to give you 4 bars, not 16, 4, just 4. Give me 3 months, I give you 4 bars, and I can't even guarantee that's gonna be very good. I might just have to go get my man Chief. Where Chief at? Chief will get, we ain't seen him in a minute. I might have to go get him to just be my ghostwriter. That might be what I'll do. Thank you so much. DJ, Marvel is not done. Like you said, it's history in the making. They just need to regroup, tighten up their shot group, and get better. Back to basics. Marvel's going to be all right. I totally agree. Now, I'm not saying that it's guaranteed that they will be good and great again. I'm not saying that, but I do believe that given their history of adjusting when things don't go well, that is something where, you can't count them out. How you gonna count something out when they literally learn from their mistakes and try something different? If they kept doing the same dumb thing, I don't know, like making movies without their franchise character like Spider-Man, then we could sit here and be like, damn, y'all are dumb. That would be something. But they don't do that. They literally change up all the time. So props to them for that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Derek, if you take your shirt off and start shouting E-Life, I'm done. That would be hilarious. No, there will be. Listen, y'all got 2 buttons. Okay, this was as far as y'all was gonna get. Okay, that was it. Y'all got 2 buttons. You ain't going nowhere else beyond that. But thank you, Derek. I appreciate you. All right, we have more stuff to get into here. What else? Oh, let's talk about this. So we're talking about a potential crisis with Marvel, or at least, that's what some people are concerned about. But one thing that, has also been talked about is what could save Marvel, what could help them. And, there is the report out right now in this article that we could see some familiar faces returning. It says here, sources say there have been talks to bring back the original gang for an Avengers movie. This would include reviving Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, both of whom were killed off in Endgame. But of course, we know don't nobody really stay dead. It also says here, but the studio hasn't yet committed to the idea. If it were able to bring those actors back, it wouldn't come cheap, because Robert Downey's upfront salary for Iron Man 3 was around $25 million. Oh my God. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say, y'all remember Spider-Man Homecoming? No, was it Homecoming? I think it was Homecoming, yeah. When Robert Downey showed up for like 5 minutes in that whole movie, just 5 minutes. They had to pay that man $10 million. That's how valuable he is at this point. I think The Rock, being one of the most highest rated actors in Hollywood, I think he makes like about 20 million per movie to be the lead. Robert Downey is going to bleed Marvel's money. And he's got that backdoor deal where he, in his contract, he makes residuals off of anything Avengers related. If he's in the movie and Avengers is in the title, he's getting money on the front end and on the back end. So you make $2 billion. I think what for the Avengers movie, I think he made like $75 million. My man was making Tony Stark money for real, for real. Overall, including Endgame, I want to say he made about $430 million from Iron Man all the way to Endgame. Whew. Now, some people have thought, oh man, this is just Marvel panicking. Marvel's just trying to, fix their mistakes and stuff. To be fair, and I've spoken to some people, I would just say very close to the situation. This idea of bringing people back has been in the works for a long time. And I would say probably even before the pandemic. So, anytime you start dealing with the multiverse, anytime you start dealing with Secret Wars, bringing other characters or old characters back kind of is already baked in to the story. So this is not something that Marvel is being reactionary about. This is something that they kind of already have planned. Now, whether it works or not is a whole different situation, because you still got to deal with schedules and you got to deal with salaries. So if people are busy, you're not going to get them. Now, if they got the time and you got the money, then they'll go ahead and show up. So anyway, my question for y'all is, do y'all even want to see the OG Avengers come back? Because if I had to guess, I would suspect that because they're OGs, because they're getting older, like in real life too, and because Marvel's trying to start a new chapter, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring them back just to kill them off. Let me give y'all something to think about. Y'all remember in Ant-Man 3 where Kang the Conqueror was like, "Oh, are you the one with the hammer, or did I kill you already?" When Scott was talking about the Avengers. Don't forget that in Loki, what are we seeing in Loki? Time loops, right? We're seeing time loops, as in certain things are repeating themselves, or certain things have already happened and we're just playing catch up. So I'm really starting to believe that when Kang sat here and said, "Oh yeah, the one with the hammer, I killed him," and all that stuff, I think since we haven't caught up yet, we're going to see Thor die. That's I'm thinking we're going to see Thor die. Okay. Again, dealing with the time loops. This could be the case. It might be. I would also say Hawkeye gonna die. Rhodey gonna have to die because he's, again, you're not gonna have these actors playing these roles forever. So you might bring Tony Stark back just to kill him off. You might bring ScarJo back just to kill her off. You might bring Chris Evans back just to kill him off. So y'all will stop asking him, when you gonna come back as Cap? When you gonna be Cap? When you gonna be Cap? He gonna be like, look, Kevin, bring me back so I can die. Bring me back so I can die so people will leave me alone. Could be. I don't know. But anyway, y'all let me know, what do you think about the idea of the Avengers, the OG ones coming back? Do you think that this would be a fun, good thing? Is it going to get you into theaters? Or do you think it's a wasted effort? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right. We got that down. Hold on. Oh, wait. I got one more. JN, what you got? Less or no Disney Plus shows and Marvel will be fine. Yes, I agree. I mean, if they do less, they'll be definitely fine because we don't need that kind of stuff. Disney needed content. Disney Plus needed to have stuff because everybody was trying to do, it was the streaming wars. Everybody wanted content. Everybody wanted to compete with Netflix because we didn't know how long the pandemic was going to have us on lockdown. So they needed it more than we were asking for it. Nobody was sitting here saying, I got to have Marvel every day, all day, a movie and a TV show back to back to back. Nobody was saying that. We like it, but we didn't ask for it. Disney Plus did. So let me grab this here. DJ, what you got? Need the OGs for Secret Wars, and it makes sense for the multiverse saga. So much you can do with that, and that's my point, right? Like, you definitely, the story itself kind of lends that idea that yes, you do want to have the OGs come back because, and I'm not going to spoil the story for y'all, but it makes sense. I'll just say that it makes sense. You know, you kind of sort of need to have them here I wouldn't say need, but it helps. I'll just say it helps. Let me give some quick shout outs here. Shout out to my homie Charlissa for the $25 Cash App. I know you gave it last week, but I wanted to say thank you today. You said, for love your show. Thanks for keeping Fridays fun. Thank you so much. It's very, very kind and generous of you. And then, of course, we got Low Key. I'm going to send some love right back. Appreciate you so much for the $20 Cash App for Happy Halloween. Right back at you. Shout out to you for holding us down and keeping the lights on. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on. Let's see, what else do we have here? So we got the Avengers. We got two more. So let's go. No, we got three more. Okay. So let's talk about the Marvels. If you've been watching my channel, you know I don't hate the Marvels. I don't have no issues with them. However, I have been seeing some red flags, and I've told y'all a lot of these red flags. I've told y'all a lot of reasons why I have the suspicion that it's just not going to do very well. And I've told y'all this for months. Okay, like, it's not like something I'm just, jumping on the bandwagon trying to hate. I'm like, nah, there's a lot of different factors. Matter of fact, I have a whole video that talks about 4 specific reasons why I think this movie is not going to do very well. And then we've heard even more stuff from the director talking about this is going to be wacky and we're going to wacky places. And I'm like, wacky like the first movie wasn't wacky. Like, why are you trying to make it wackier now? Like, changing the tones might not, that's a little too risky. I mean, so that's something. And not to mention, Wacky and Goofy have not been doing very well for Marvel. It just hasn't. Ant-Man 3, Thor 4, it's not working. So they got to chill out. She-Hulk, like, yeah, you might chuckle, but those things don't last. They're not all that great. So anyway, we got some more stuff here with Captain Marvel in this article. So let's kind of get through this here. It says Captain Marvel, that has been plagued with lengthy reshoots, now appears likely to underwhelm in the box office. Now, listen, reshoots happen all the time. Reshoots are planned and all that, but this is kind of giving the impression that these reshoots are a little bit more than normal. It does kind of go into it a little bit more, so let's kind of go into it here. It says here that Captain Marvel, oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. The Marvels cost $250 million, but it's tracking to open only to 75, maybe 80 million, and that is far below the 185 million that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness brought in domestically. Now, this is directed by the sister, Nia DaCosta. She's the one that did Candyman, if y'all recall that. And it says here, instead of the Marvels seamlessly building on the success of Captain Marvel, this movie resulted in 4 weeks of reshoots to bring a coherence to a tangled storyline. Yikes. That's not good. I said reshoots are one thing. It's fine to have reshoots. It could be anything like, oh, this actor, maybe didn't look good and we need a different angle, or hey, we thought of something else. Let's do it. A whole month to fix the story. Once again, what the hell were y'all doing when y'all had the script? This goes back to the whole Foggy being stretched thin. This goes back to the lack of quality control, that the fact that y'all trying to do all this stuff after the fact, you wasting time and money just doing all of that, going back. But a tangled storyline does not sound good. It says here, then eyebrows were raised again when DaCosta began working on another film while the Marvels was still in post-production. The filmmaker moved to London earlier this year to begin prepping for her Tessa Thompson drama, Hedda. Wow. According to a source familiar with the production, it says if you're directing a $250 million movie, it's kind of weird for the director to leave with a few months to go. Whoa. Now here's the thing. We talked about this before, that Nia DaCosta, I would still say she's still a rookie, right? Like, she's still new to directing. It was great that she did Candyman, but this is something that Marvel normally does. They find people that have done TV. They found people that have done maybe one good successful movie, maybe 2, and then they sign them over, right? They're like, oh, you got talent. Okay, you proved yourself. All right, now you can come on to Team Marvel. But what happens? They lock them down. And according to these directors, according to other directors, Marvel's the one that's in control. This is not a Nia DaCosta movie. This is a Marvel production. Like, unless you are James Gunn, unless you are, a director that has demonstrated that you don't need no help, unless you are the Russo brothers, who I think had to earn it over time. That's a Kevin Feige movie. It's not your movie. Kevin Feige gonna take whatever you made and remix whatever he want on there, and that's gonna be his movie. So Nia DaCosta, she talked about how kind of frustrating it was, how different of a process it was to kind of come in and not really have the creative liberty that she kind of thought she would, especially coming right off of Candyman, where clearly Candyman was her own thing. She was able to do whatever she wanted with that. But to leave the production, that's a little strange. I ain't never heard of nobody just up and leaving, during production of their own movie. Like, that is something. Now, this is one of the reasons why I said I like the fact that Variety talked about this stuff, because now it's going to force other outlets to look into this, maybe fact check. And we do have another outlet, Collider, and Collider said, nah, she didn't leave. She didn't leave at all. It says here, we have heard this report is not true, that Nia DaCosta was very much involved in the editing process while she was based in London. Okay. Hey, maybe she worked remotely. That's fine. You know, like maybe she was working remote and she was still logging in and zooming and doing whatever she had to do. Besides, I mean, in my opinion, what does it matter? Y'all already having Kevin Feige do all the work anyway. She sat there, she shot it, she edited it, she did what she got to do, and y'all just gonna take it over and do whatever you're gonna do with it anyway. So who cares if she leaves when Kevin Feige's the one running the show anyway? So I'm not gonna down her for that at all. If it is true, granted, this article is saying that it's not true, that she was still involved, because it did kind of make it seem like she just ditched it and just left. But that is apparently not the case. Now, this also says here, the Marvels, its debut. Now, this did shift around a little bit with Quantumania. The debut shifted from July to November, and that was to really give the filmmakers more time to kind of tinker with it. But that extra time didn't necessarily help. In June, Marvel, which traditionally holds only solicits feedback from Disney employees and their friends and family, took the uncharacteristic step of holding a public test screening in Texas. The audience gave the film middling reviews. Oh, wow. That's different. Now, I wonder, because if y'all remember, last week we talked about how Marvel thought they had a smash hit with Ant-Man 3. They thought they was going to kill him with this one. Woo! Watch until, they're not ready for this one. Okay, they're not ready. And then Marvel was shook when they found out nobody was really feeling Ant-Man 3 the way they thought they would. And I wonder if this is where Marvel's like, we got to change up how we evaluate things, because clearly there's a disconnect. So I've told y'all before that Marvel will do a friends and family thing, but they'll have like in-house folks to sit here and talk about the shows or the movies or whatever. But my issue is this, though. Why were y'all only doing it with friends and family? Because other studios, they will test it with the public. When they do testings, like I'm not talking about like screenings like for me, I'm talking about super, super advanced screenings where the VFX isn't even done yet. They will have random people come and watch it, take notes, and go fix it and do whatever. And this is the first time Marvel reportedly is doing that with the public. And they said that it was middling. That means it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Yikes. Sounds like this whole movie, it sounds like the Marvels is mild sauce. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like this ain't nothing but some sweet and sour sauce. Like this ain't really gonna kick you, in the butt, nothing like that. It's just gonna be like, meh. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Them trailers, they gave me middling vibes as well. I remember, didn't we do a trailer reaction to something? Like, there was nothing in it. I still don't even know why I should care about the characters or the story. Because all you've been promoting to me is y'all swap powers and there's some Kree lady who got the bangle from Kamala, and that's it. Okay. Like, does this have to do with Secret Invasion? Does this have to do with Skrulls? Does it have to do with the multiverse that we've been learning about and investing all this time? I don't know. So, when you kind of check the temperature on how people are feeling about the Marvels, it's lukewarm at best. Like, you have some people that are hardcore dedicated to hating Brie Larson. I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, all this hate for Brie Larson or whatever. But, it is what it is. Now, the reason why I don't really count that very much is because they was hating on her with the first Captain Marvel, and it still made $1 billion. So I don't think that's going to factor too much. But then you also have some people that are like, oh, you guys are losers. I'm going to go watch Captain Marvel, and I'm going to bring my whole family, and I'm going to tell my friends, and I'm going to sell out the theater, because, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And you guys are just sexist and misogynistic. Like, first of all, stop it. Stop with all the virtue signaling. If you're going to go see it, that's fine. You ain't got to go putting other people down just because you want to, like, make yourself feel better. Stop it. I, too, am going to go see the Marvels. I'm not buying out no theater, though. A friend of mine literally hit me up. Hey, E-Man, I know you like to rent out the theaters and stuff. You going to do that for the Marvels? No. And the reason why I do that is not because I hate the Marvels or nothing. It's really just because if people are not excited about something, why would I go put my money into this to go buy out a whole theater? And then when people show up at my event, they come out there like, Because guess what? That happened with Ant-Man 3. And when people came out of Ant-Man 3, they were like, hey, bro, Kang was cool, but and I was like, sorry. I'm saying sorry like I made the movie. Like I'm like, yo, guys, I'm not responsible for this. Like I just wanted the people to come together. Like I don't know. So I'm like, nah, I ain't going through that again. I'm not doing it. So anyway, I do believe that you can critique the movie, or at least the promotion of it, because we haven't seen the movie. I can critique the fact that the marketing is boo-boo. There's plenty of reasons for it. The actor strike is a reason. I don't think Marvel even believes in this, because another red flag is the fact that the social embargo does not even lift until like the day before the movie really drops. And for anybody that wants to talk outside their mouth that don't know what they're talking about, in the past, Marvel has had big surprises, big cameos, huge things happen, and the social embargo would still be early, because most of the time the press can, be trusted to keep a secret most of the time. So anyway, I don't know. This Marvel's thing is definitely not sounding all that great. It does sound very concerning. If I were Marvel, I'd be concerned about it. But I don't know. What do y'all think about what's going on with the Marvels? Are you still gonna go see it? Okay, like forget any hate, forget any praise. Are you going to go see it? Did you already get your ticket? Did y'all know the tickets were on sale? Did y'all know that the Marvels comes out in 9 days? Did y'all know that? Be honest if you knew. Be honest if you knew the Marvels is coming out in 9 days. Anyway, I'll be seeing it. But anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about all this Marvels news with the director and, the production and the middling reviews? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's grab these here. DJ, need the OGs for oh yeah, sorry, got that already. Thank you for that. Wraith, there we go. Instead of doing live action TV series, they should do more animated series, but do not have them connected to the MCU. Maybe. I mean, we are still getting X-Men 97, and we are getting the Peter Parker. It's kind of like the Homecoming animated version or whatever of Spider-Man. So we are getting that as well. So they are doing some. How much they are connected or not, we don't really know. So we just kind of have to wait. And you do have What If. So What If is already, they're doing season 2, and that's coming out as well. So they do have some animated stuff already in the works. But we just have to wait. Now, whether they're connected or not, I don't know, but I'm fine. Either way, I just want them to get it right. To be honest with you, I don't care if stuff is connected or not. Just do something that makes sense. Just get it right. We can talk about connectivity later. You can always connect stuff at a later time. That has also been Marvel's MO. They'll take something that they did, everybody think it didn't matter, then 5 years later they make something else, and now it's more significant because now it connects retroactively. So I'm not worried about that at all. Ms. McKeeba, what you got? Sounds like they're hating on sis getting her money. Maybe maybe. I mean, again, I got nothing but love for Nia DaCosta. I love the fact that she be out there doing her thing. But yeah, maybe haters gonna hate. Bad Rob, what's going on? Thank you so much for that super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate that. Dex, Nia leaving during post-production screams a Frankenstein film. It's giving me Secret Invasion vibes already. It's possible, but if there are Frankenstein vibes, that's got to come from Kevin Feige. Keep in mind, as we talked about, they will shoot the movie, and then in post-production, Kevin Feige will come in and change stuff up, add things, do whatever after the fact. So this is a Kevin Feige movie. If the Marvels is whack, that's on Kevin Feige. If the Marvels is fantastic, that's on Kevin Feige. It really, you know, at that point, you know, now of course Nia is gonna have to take some of that credit too, but you know, this is very similar to what we hear with DC all the time with the studio interference, but studios always interfere with the movies. They're the ones paying for it. So if they don't like what they see, since they paid for it, they can change whatever they want. But, you know, the main difference is we don't complain when the changes that are made by the studios are actually good. We don't complain. And that's if we even know what they changed or not. So that's just one of those things like Marvel right now, because they're so big, we're getting all these leaks and information and stuff like that. And we're getting these behind the scenes. But it's only when it don't do well that it's a problem at that point. Oh, man, come on through. We got Ms. Harper. Thank you so much for the $10 Cash App. I appreciate you. What you say? Forget the Avengers. Give me my mutants. Yeah, listen, they're coming. The mutants are coming. The article actually does talk about the mutants, but we had already talked about that. It basically just reiterated the fact that because the writer strike is now done, the Marvel is looking for writers for an X-Men or mutant movie. So that is something that is still in the works. Thank you again. Bad Rob, thank you so much. Very generous of you. Thank you. Maybe they need to quit being creative and actually follow a comic. Most people wouldn't know the difference. And you know, they would argue that's the reason why they don't follow the comics, you know, according to them. You know, listen, I've literally talked to people very high up there at Marvel, and that's just how they feel. I don't really agree with it, but I understand their perspective mainly because they have found success in not sticking 100% to the comic book stories. Case in point, Captain America Winter Soldier. That's one of many people's top Marvel movie, and that's not following the script. That's not following the comic, you know, word for word, panel for panel. You know, that was something that they were like, let's try something different. So they've been veering away from the comics for so long. You know, even Black Panther. Black Panther is not copying the comic word for word or nothing like that. And that thing made $1.3 billion. You know, so again, it's one of those things where sometimes it works very well, sometimes it doesn't. You know, but for them, they want to keep things fresh because, and here's the other argument for them. Where are y'all comic fans going to go? And when I say y'all, I'm including me in this too. If you're a comic book fan, you're going to watch every single one of these comic book related movies. You are not the target audience. It's always the general public who have no idea about the comics. So for them, they usually will try to make a movie that not comic fans will understand 100%. You know, it's not targeted for comic fans. They'll make stuff that outside people will kind of gravitate to. They'll be like, oh, you know what? I do like romantic dramas. Let's go make Eternals that has a whole love story in there. You know, yeah, they got some superheroes, but the love story. So anyway, thank you so much, Bad Rob. I appreciate you. Tony, what you got? Marvel truly dropped the ball when it came to Kang, because after setting him up so well in the ending of Loki, and then with Ant-Man and Quantum Mania, they made him into a B and a complete joke instead of taking him seriously. Yes. Well, yes and no. The problem is that's not the only Kang that you have, so it's kind of like, and I think I was trying to iterate this when we were talking about the Loki series. The moment you start introducing variants and different versions of a character, everyone's expendable. Let me give you an example. John Krasinski in Doctor Strange 2 as Reed Richards. He's a variant. That's not the 616 prime version of Mr. Fantastic. So what do you do with that? Whatever you want. You want to turn him into spaghetti? Go ahead. Do it. No one cares because he's just a variant. And that's kind of the same thing that happened with the Kang in Quantum Mania. He's just a variant. You literally saw 50 million other Kangs in their little council. So, I agree that I didn't like how they treated him. I thought the story was dumb. I've been on record saying the story, the way they ended it was bad. Only good thing I like about Quantum Mania was I thought Jonathan Majors' performance was pretty good. Outside of that, nah, not so much. But they have other Kangs. They got other Kangs. That's pretty much it. DJ, thank you so much. I do want the Marvels to do well. I hate to say it. Why you hate to say it? That's fine if it do well. But it's gonna tank hard in the box office. Captain Marvel, like Ant-Man, does not need a sequel. So I'll slightly disagree. I only disagree to the point that I don't think I don't mind Captain Marvel having a sequel, because I don't really feel like I know Carol like that. Like, I feel like Carol's as a character still has room to grow, still has room to develop. There are a lot of different things that in the comics we haven't really seen from her yet. Now, by the way, in the comics, a lot of people don't like her in there too. But I do think that is something that, and the article kind of talked about that, right? It kind of said, rather than doing a direct sequel that would build up the character of Captain Marvel, they decided to make this an ensemble thing. Why? Like, why are you making this an ensemble and instead of building up this character so we can really gravitate to her? So maybe we can really start to connect with her, maybe understand her at times, but we're not getting that. So that's another issue. But anyway, thank you so much for that. Hold on now. I've got hold on, I got another Cash App here for $6.49. Ma'am, please explain this. For that matching pink shirt you had your eye on. Thank you. How did you know? How did you know? Thank you so much, Leave. I appreciate you so much. The pink shirt. Let's get out my Amazon cart. Leave my Temu cart alone. All right, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, okay, so we got rid of that. We do have we got to talk about something that has been a bit of an issue for me, and that is Blade. Blade, as I've said many times, there would be no Marvel Studios. There would be no Iron Man. There would be no Thanos. There'd be no Endgame. There'd be no Black Panther. There'd be nothing on the screen if it were not for Blade. Kevin Feige would not have a job making these movies if it were not for Blade. And what Blade did was prove that comic book character movies still had juice, and a good amount of juice. Thank you, Wesley Snipes. With that said, Blade in 2019 was announced at San Diego Comic-Con, and this is where Kevin Feige decided to let people know, hey, Mahershala Ali, two-time Oscar award-winning Mahershala Ali is going to be your new Blade. I don't know about y'all. I was excited. I was ecstatic about this. I thought this was the greatest thing because even though I love me some Wesley Snipes, this was absolutely a win for all of us. That was 2019. That was about 4 years ago. About 4 years ago. Now, Kevin Feige did say that Blade was coming in phase 5. We're in phase 5. Keep in mind that Black Panther Wakanda Forever was the end of phase 4. So everything that we about to get, Deadpool, Captain America, the Marvels, all of that is phase 5. We have heard reports going back through the pandemic on that Mahershala Ali was not happy with the script. He was constantly asking for changes. We heard about how he looked at the script and there was lackluster action, which makes no sense because Blade and lackluster action should never be in the same sentence like that. And then you also had the director. The director fell off, just left the production. That's not a good sign. You got a boo-boo script. You got a director that's gone. What the hell's going on? And you got your 2-time Oscar award-winning actor just sitting there waiting to just do anything. Oh, I'm sorry. He did do something. He showed up in the Eternals, and all we heard was a voice. That's all we heard. Just his voice. We ain't even got no concept art. I mean, Marvel, can we at least see what Blade looked like? The only thing you will see today with Blade and Mahershala Ali is fan art. Y'all don't have no concept art you could leak something? It's not like he got a crazy, costume. Get a man a trench coat and some glasses. Give him some shades. That's all you got to do. Anyway. Now, there were some positive things that did happen over time, which was, a new writer was hired. That was great. And there was a writer that worked with Mahershala Ali before. Cool. New director came on board. Okay. And right when things were starting to get back on track, strike happened. Writer strike happened. So the new fresh director writer you just hired can't write. And the writer strike lasted for over 100 days. 100 days. Yikes. So all of this stuff has been super frustrating and very, very annoying because all we wanted was just for Blade to be seen. We just want a Blade movie. That's all. Anyway, according to this Variety report, we have a little bit more insight and a couple more disturbing details about the script and what could have been. It says here, Feige is pulling the plug on scripts and projects that aren't working. Case in point, the Blade reboot. Dum, dum, dum. The project has gone through at least 5 writers, 2 directors, and 1 shutdown 6 weeks before production. One person familiar with the script permutations says the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women filled with life lessons. Blade was regulated to the 4th lead. A bizarre idea considering that the studio had a 2-time Oscar winner on board. My question is very simple. How? Why? How? Why? How? What? How come? Why for come? How do you take a Blade movie and you take a 2-time Oscar winning actor and regulate the lead character into the fourth lead? What? How? Who did Marvel let into their house to write such nonsense? What did it say? Led by women filled with life lessons? What? When did Blade turn into 227? What are you talking about? What? Was Blade gonna be, joined by the Golden Girls? Like what? What are you? How? I need to know what the process is to get people in Marvel's door and offer up a script that is so far from anything remotely familiar to the property. Because if y'all just wanted some BS, I could make up some BS for you. I could do that. Like we can come up with some nonsense in the chat right now. Matter of fact, let's come up with what's something that they'd like to do. Fantastic Four. Yeah, you know how much they love Fantastic Four. Let's go ahead and come up with some ideas for Fantastic Four that ain't got nothing to do with Fantastic Four. How about this? How about we start off with the Fantastic Four and then we kick them off? Yeah, that's right. We kick them off the screen and they not even in there no more. And then Blue Marvel shows up. Why? Because I like Blue Marvel. Then what else can we have? Who else? Who else? Some Black Widows. Throw in some Black Widows just because they're cool, right? Okay, then we need some ninjas. So let's just put Shang-Chi in this Fantastic Four movie. Let's just do that. Let's see. We need some life lessons. And because Blue Marvel's in there, let's talk about racism. Ooh, I know y'all like wokeness, right? Y'all love that wokeness. So let's sprinkle in some life lessons about racism in a Fantastic Four movie. All of this stuff should be great, right? What the hell was this? How the hell did y'all get to this? Y'all went through 5 writers, but here was the thing. It said the story at one point morphed into that narrative. I could see if somebody came in and they was like, hey, Kevin, I got a wild idea. Let's do this Blade movie about all these women and life lessons and lackluster action. I could see if somebody was like, yo, this is whack. Go home. I could see that. How do you morph into that? My question now is, what the hell was there before? What? This is almost insulting. And now, when we heard the previous reports about Mahershala Ali being so upset, I completely understand. I'd be like, why are you wasting my time? Last time I checked, when we was on Comic-Con and you was like, Blade is coming to the MCU, I didn't see 4 women up there with him talking about that he was going, or 3 other women up there. Did y'all not learn anything from Blade Trinity? Y'all remember all the stories about Blade Trinity when they brought in, what was it, Jessica, whatever, and Ryan Reynolds, and they were trying to make them co-stars and make Blade like a third wheel. Like, the man's name is the title of the movie. It's his movie. He don't need to share no space with nobody. This is what y'all let this girl. Like, okay, hold on. Bring it back. Let me bring it back. Because there is some good news. Some good news. It does say Ali was ready to exit over the script issues. Foggy went back to the drawing board and hired Michael Green, the Oscar-nominated writer of Logan, to start anew. Speculation around town is that the studios is looking to make the film, now slated for 2025, on a budget less than $100 million, a deviation from Marvel's big spending strategy. Okay. Good news, Blade is still coming. Blade is coming in 2025, supposedly. Yes, that is good news. Good news, you got the guy who wrote Logan, one of the better comic book movies to date. Good. Mahershala seems happy. We have a director. We have a competent writer. Looks like we're on track. Why this got to get the short end of the stick with the money? Let me put it in perspective for you. Reportedly, this has affected Blade, which is planned to move forward with a budget less than $100 million. Typically, MCU films are given budgets of at least $200 million. And that was the case with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians of the Galaxy, and even the Marvels. It says, in fact, Blade would mark the first film in the MCU to be budgeted at less than $100 million. Currently sit as the lowest budgeted MCU films previously released, and they each were made for at least $130 million. All I'm saying is, thank you for finally making Blade. Thank you for putting competent people there. I do feel some kind of way that the movie that literally is the sole responsible purpose or reason behind why your whole studio exists, that movie isn't special enough, especially with the black lead. Now that's about to be the lowest budgeted movie. That don't sit right with me. I'm not saying that Marvel shouldn't check their money. They should. Marvel has been overspending a ridiculous amount of money. I'm with you on that. But damn, with Blade, why don't you pull the money back on things like the Thunderbolts? Maybe pull the money back on some of those Disney Plus shows that ain't nobody really trying to watch, like Echo. Like that. That's where you could pull some of that money back. But you really about the show that literally gave y'all jobs, gave y'all careers, the movie that literally gave y'all an existence for your whole studio. Y'all can't give them more than $100 million? That's jacked up to me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I understand it. I understand y'all been wasting y'all money, but I'm just saying, if there ever was something to go ahead and put some money on, I would think Blade would be it. So I'm a little concerned with Blade. I do like the fact we got a good writer, director, we'll see, great actor. So we have some good pieces. I'm a little concerned about the low budget. And if Blade comes off feeling cheap, I'm not gonna like it. I like, it's just not gonna sit well. But anyway, that's just my take on it. What do y'all think about this news about Blade with the new budget? What do you think about what Blade almost could have been? Where Blade is not even the lead character in his own movie. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, what do we got here? Howard, since he birthed the MCU, Wesley Snipes should be cast as the one above all. Also, this bad news is reminiscent of how Black Panther played out. I'm assuming you're talking about, are you talking about the second Black Panther? Because the first one, I'm assuming, yeah, I think you're talking about the second one, because I do recall the second one having more script issues and stuff like that. So I think you're on point with that. I wouldn't put Wesley Snipes as the one above all. I mean, as much as I like Wesley Snipes and all that, I don't think I wouldn't give him that much credit. I think the one above all should have been either which in the comics it was Jack Kirby or Stan Lee. Like that, even because I know he signed his life rights away and all that. If they even wanted to use some AI or whatever, like I'd be cool with that, if his family's cool with it anyway. But I would say Stan Lee over Wesley Snipes. I all love and respect to Wesley now. All love and respect. For me, give him a cameo in Blade. Like let him or have Wesley show up in Avengers Secret Wars. You sitting here talking about you bringing back the OG Avengers. Bring back the OG Marvel character. Bring him back. And what that will do is that will make the old Blade movies finally canon. Because once again, they're not canon. All that stuff about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige didn't make it, it's not canon until it actually gets mentioned in the sacred timeline. So anyway, thank you so much for that. I gotta hurry. I got a lot of questions here. Huff, the Blade and Blanche team up would slap. Sure, yeah, I think that could work. Thank you so much for that. Almad, what's going on? Or Almond. Is Almad or Almond? Okay. I don't know why I started thinking of Martin. You so almondy. I don't know. I was watching Martin not too long ago, so they just got the almondy thing. It's so stupid. Anyway, she said it's called racism. Also, they think they didn't know how to write for a black man. Well, you said it. I mean, and the reason why I say that is I don't know who the writers were. I think I heard that one of those writers was a black woman, I believe, and I was rooting for. I was like, oh, okay, I got a black sister doing it, cool. But so I don't know who wrote what, but I don't know. It's something. I don't know who the hell came up with the whole. Anyway, whatever. JN, thank you so much. Hollywood can only write emasculated stories about black men. See Green Book, Moonlight, and damn near every Tyler Perry movie. Facepalm. Well, that is one take on it. I will say that there is room for improvement, but there's also room for inclusion as well. Because even though, yes, I would like to see myself, as strong and courageous. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I love Black Panther, because I see myself in T'Challa. It's a great character. But at the same time, like we do have to recognize that there has to be space for different sides of manhood, and being vulnerable or being of different orientations, there's a space for all of that. But I'm here for more representation in general. So I want to see more characters that look and talk and act like me. Yes, I would. I want more of that. So wouldn't say you're wrong, wouldn't say you're right. I think that we can always do better. Thank you so much. DJ, what you got? A Blade after school special, throw it away. There's a template to go off of. People need to be fired for the disrespect of a character that resurrected Marvel. Get it together, Marvel. Now, to be fair, those people have been fired. Like everything I was talking about already happened. And now they do have a writer who knows what he's doing. Mahershala is happy with him. So we're good now. But and it said here, like Kevin Feige went in, saw this, said it was whack and it's not working, and he did what he did. He was like, yo, y'all gotta go. This is trash. Get out of here. So, credit to them for that. They saw what kind of nonsense this was. I personally just wish they would have caught this earlier, but as we talked about, they've been stretched too thin, blah, blah, blah. So, it fell through the cracks, but I wouldn't have let it fall through the cracks. I'm just saying, like, as for something that gave me my career, if I was in Marvel, I wouldn't put that as a high priority. But that's me. Mark, my daughter said you were wearing pajamas. I am not wearing pajamas. I'm first of all, I'm Tupac. Okay, and this is an authentic Tupac Mackie shirt. I don't know. It's just some shirt I got on Amazon. But no, I am not wearing pajamas. But thank you so much. Anthony, what you got? Why would you spend 100 million plus on a Blade movie? I can at least somewhat understand Ant-Man because of all the visual effects with striking. So It does depend, right? So a lot of times the 100 million could be towards the actors, that they're getting on board, like that's part of the salary. It could also be location, it could be special effects. We don't know how vampires in the MCU look. Maybe they will use CGI or VFX for vampires, like when they die, when they maybe they turn to ash. Like there's still some CGI or VFX involved in that. We don't know if time travel's involved. We don't know anything really. So, I'm like I said, now, is it impossible to make a great movie on a low budget? No, it's not impossible. You can still do some stuff, on a lower budget. I just don't like the timing of it all. I don't like the culmination of it all. I don't like the fact that this was barely, if it didn't feel like a top priority, and then when it became a priority, it had other roadblocks like the strike, and then now y'all want to pull y'all pockets now with this movie. It's all of these little things that kind of bothers me. But if this is the trend moving forward with everything else, okay, I can see that. I'd love to see what the budget is for Fantastic Four. Does that need 100 million or more? We'll see. Wraith, what you got? A Blade movie doesn't need a huge budget. The first two Snipes Blade films were made for under 60 million and had lots of action and really good VFX. So sure, like I said, it could. But for me, it was just the timing of it all, because clearly it would have had it, but now they're pulling it back. So my question is, what did y'all have planned before that y'all were going to spend your money on? And what are we not going to get because of this potential reduced budget? That's where I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like, what are we doing here? JM Blade news stares like Louis Farrakhan. What the hell? Thank you for that. Anthony, Black Panther, John S. Cyborg need 100 million, not Blade. Okay, I mean, that's a take. Again, it's not a super requirement to do it, but everybody else is getting it. Why not? But anyway, we'll see. Maybe it'll come out fine, and that's my hope. I hope that whatever the budget is, the movie still comes out fine. That's my hope at the end of the day. All right. Rabia, thank you so much for that. Always appreciate you. What do we got here? Mark, Hollywood wants to destroy the image of a black man. That's speculation. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, but people are entitled to their opinions. Let's see. Omar, what you got? Aaron Pierre is great casting for Blade. He's an imposing figure. He's currently starring as Netflix film called Brother. I mean, I want to see Mahershala Ali cook first. I'll take that. He's got more name brand. He's a better actor than Aaron. Aaron does have that look, but I'm always going to lean with acting first before I go with looks. But thank you so much for that. Didier, I think the fact that Disney's VFX is unionizing has a lot to do with the change in budget. That is also true. I didn't really get to it on here, but they do mention that that was a big reason. That was a big reason why other changes were happening, because the VFX workers were like, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. And they got their union together, and Marvel's not going to be able to sit here and operate the way that they have been, and they have to change some things on their end. So yeah, great point. Thank you so much for bringing that up. All right, so we are getting to our last topic, and part of this is also going to include some breaking news about Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror in the MCU, and some news about his trial case that I have been covering. So if you are new here, I'm not going to go through everything with his case, but you can definitely go check out many of my videos breaking down all the details of what's been going on with the trial. And just to kind of give you a quick synopsis, basically, Jonathan Majors has been accused of domestic violence. He's, accused of allegedly, being physical, with his ex-girlfriend, and the New York DA it has the Manhattan DA has like taken on the case on her behalf, and they're pressing charges against him for I want to say it's like second or third degree harassment and assault or something like that. So they are misdemeanors, but at the same time, he could face a year in jail. Like it is kind of serious at the same time. But our primary concern, besides obviously justice being served, is how does this affect Kang the Conqueror? Because the moment he was introduced as he who remains in Loki, people really started to notice, like, yo, Jonathan Majors is really good. Like, this guy, he's a great actor, and this is one of the reasons I was super excited for him joining into the MCU, because I know he has a lot of range as an actor, and he showed that to us so far. We've seen him as He Who Remains. We've seen him as like Kang the Conqueror. We've seen him as like 5-6 different other Kangs in the Council of Kang. We've seen him as Victor Timely, and each one looks and feels very different. That is good acting. But with all this negative attention and all this press that's happening behind the trial and all of that, it's been prompting a lot of questions of like, what do we do with Jonathan Majors? Like, of course, there's always the presumption that you're innocent, until proven guilty. So we got that. However, image matters, and when you have, a case that is carrying a huge allegation, it can damage your public image. And Jonathan Majors is probably one person that has more recently had a huge dip in his public image in such a quick fashion, given the fact that he was on such a high rise coming right off of Creed 3. The guy lost his management, he lost commercials, he lost movies. The only people really stuck with him are Marvel right now and Disney. But we even saw that his latest movie, Magazine Dreams, Disney has pulled that to the side. So the question is kind of like, what do you do? Do you recast the character? Do you keep him going? And because his trial has not been dismissed, I just made that video about how he wants to get this trial dismissed. His lawyer's been leaking evidence all over the place so people can see no harm was done to the alleged victim. But the prosecution and the judge believe that there's enough evidence to take Jonathan Majors to trial. I have some of that we're going to talk about at the end, but we're going to talk about first the impact of Kang the Conqueror in the MCU right now. And Marvel, of course, this is something that they have to talk about. They have to, right? So we talked about earlier about how Marvel's at their retreat, their annual retreat, where they figure out just the idea and the game planning for everything. But it says here on this article that the most pressing issue to be discussed at the retreat was what to do about Jonathan Majors. It says here the actor, the damage to his reputation and the chance he could lose the case has forced Marvel to reconsider its plans to center the next phase of its interlocking slate of sequels, spin-offs, and series around Majors' villainous character Kang the Conqueror. It says here at the gathering in Palm Springs, executives discussed backup plans, including pivoting to another comic book adversary like Dr. Doom. Now, wait a minute. You mean to tell me Marvel said if things don't go well with Jonathan Majors, we just gonna move over to Dr. Doom? I'm not gonna be mad about that. Dr. Doom is a villain for villains. Like, that is a character that if Marvel can get that right, y'all gonna be saying Thanos who. So I think it'll be interesting. In my opinion, because we don't know what's going on with Majors, we don't know where the case is going to go. I would try to hold off Dr. Doom for as long as possible, because the longer you wait, the more money you can make in between. But I don't know. What is it? His case is supposed to be the end of November or something like that. If he's guilty immediately or something like that, or if more bad news comes out, Marvel could make the pivot. They really could, because especially if you are familiar with the story, especially with Secret Wars, Dr. Doom ain't no joke. Dr. Doom is usually the guy behind the guy behind the guy. Like he's the mastermind guy. This dude gave Wakanda problems. Wakanda. I ain't talking about Wakanda Forever Wakanda. That Wakanda got all dumbified and cheapened, and I'm talking about the Wakanda in the comics. This man gave Wakanda fits. This man put T'Challa in a coma. T'Challa now. Dr. Doom ain't nobody to play with. And I'm not even talking about the things that he's actually accomplished. Again, I'm not trying to spoil Secret Wars for nobody, but he's a major player in Secret Wars. And y'all gonna be sitting there like, remember the time we thought Kang was a problem? Kang ain't nothing but a man. He ain't nothing but a regular old man that got a time complex. Dr. Doom? Oh, he a villain. Ain't nobody playing with Kang. Ain't nobody playing with Dr. Doom. When he's involved, ish gets real. So, if things don't work out for Jonathan Majors, first of all, you know, they do have Avengers Kang Dynasty, which is supposed to come out like in 2-3 years from now or something like that. You could just recast. And I've heard different names thrown out there, and I've told y'all the name I think that can work the best. I think it's got to be John Boyega, because John Boyega literally fits the mold of what Kang the Conqueror is supposed to be from an actor's perspective. You need someone who has range. And when I say range, I say this all the time. I don't mean you could change your voice a little bit. I mean, you can literally transform and look like different people and act like different people on screen and make us believe it. So, you know, what was that movie? They Cloned Tyrone. Go watch They Cloned Tyrone. That's literally John Boyega's audition to be Kang. That's it. Because right there, he literally showed you that he can play more than just 1 or 2 roles. He could play like 5, 15 different characters. If whatever actors y'all talking about can't show you 10 different, completely separate characters, don't even bother, because that's not Kang. What did we just see? He Who Remains, Kang the Conqueror, 3 different evil, different versions of Kang. Then we saw Victor Timely. That's range. None of them are that similar, and they're very distinct. If you can't get that, it's not even worth the discussion. So we have some commentary here. Pardon the language, but I think we're getting late now. It says Marvel is truly screwed with the whole Kang angle. This is coming from one top deal maker who has actually seen the final Loki episode, and they haven't had an opportunity to rewrite until very recently because of the strike. But I don't see a path on how they move forward with Kang. Wow. That's messed up, because we haven't even seen the last episode of Loki yet. And given where Loki left off after episode 4, it is very possible that Marvel, we could maybe see how Marvel might change things in the future. So in other words, if Marvel were thinking about recasting. If episode 5 and maybe 6, the last 2 episodes, maybe that would have been the best time to do it. But it's sounding like it's already too late, which means Marvel's gonna have to figure something else out. I would say that I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you saw a Loki special. Like if I were Marvel and I was just like, yo, you know what? Tom Hiddleston, I know this is out the blue, but maybe we got to do a Loki special. After everything is done, right before Kang Dynasty, we do one Loki special, and that's where they recast. Maybe. So we'll just have to wait and see, because again, his trial has not started yet, but that does not mean that that's all you need. Sometimes more publicity, more bad stuff that gets revealed can be enough for a studio to be like, all right, we're done. We'll talk about that because some things have come up. But we will see. I have, let's see, there's a little bit more here for Majors. It says, is this going to solve the Majors problem? Like bringing back the OG Avengers. Is that going to solve the Jonathan Majors issue for Marvel Studios? And it says Disney executives insisted that they could afford to play a wait and see game, given that Avengers Kang Dynasty wasn't expected to begin shooting until early 2024. It also says here that the CAA parted ways with Major. It's another agency, I believe, the PR agency. They parted ways with him before his arrest, and this was for brutal conduct towards staff, according to one source. Oh. So we didn't know that part. We had seen a lot of people leaving Jonathan Majors before, and because of the nature of when and how things are reported, I think it was fair to say that a lot of us was like, damn, y'all just gonna leave him and he ain't even been, convicted? Like, how y'all just gonna leave him hanging like that? But according to this source, take it however you want, they're saying that the people that left Jonathan Majors before he got arrested was because of brutal conduct. I don't even know what to do with that. That's not a good sign. Now, we've seen other reports that other people have said that Jonathan Majors has a troubled history. They talked about his relationships. Now, personally, I don't really equate being a jerk or an a-hole with criminal activity. I don't equate that. If he yells at you on set, if he calls you names, yeah, he could be an a-hole, but I'm not going to say that man is trash and he needs to be locked up. I'm not going to say that. But if he's being physical with people, you can't put your hands on nobody. Unless it's self-defense or something. You can't be putting your... So I don't know what brutal conduct means, but according to this, the brutal conduct was enough to have this company part ways with him before he got arrested. Make of that what you will. We got a little more. It says Marvel already had considered moving away from Majors. Marvel already considered moving away from a Majors-led phase because of the box office performance of Quantumania. Recasting Majors is also an option, as Feige did when he replaced Terrence Howard in Iron Man 2 with Don Cheadle. Also, now y'all can do the Aunt Viv thing, huh? But first of all, don't be blaming Jonathan Majors for Quantumania. He was not the problem. And if Marvel thinks he was the problem, Marvel's definitely got a understanding issue at that point. He didn't do it. He was the best part of Quantumania. He literally made that movie salvageable and watchable. So the fact that they even considered parting ways because Quantumania didn't do well, why are you not looking at Scott? Go look at Scott Lang. That was his movie. Y'all the ones that decided to take the Wasp, who got her whole name in the title, and not even give her no parts. You gave her 4 lines in the whole movie. And you want to blame the best thing about the movie with Jonathan Majors as Kang? Man, y'all better get out of here with that nonsense. Get out of here. It also says here, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 became Marvel's biggest draw of the year with $845 million worldwide. Then, of course, Quantumania came in with $476 million. And anything under $500 million is viewed as a disappointment. I'm going to say that again. For Marvel, anything under $500 million is viewed by Marvel as a disappointment. And these overreaching expectations are a result of so much success over the years. Again, I still don't blame Jonathan Majors for anything with Quantumania, but the movie did flop for Marvel. It was not successful for Marvel. As was mentioned earlier, Marvel's failures are other studios' success. Other studios would love to have a movie make $400-something million, and they'll be like, "We did it, y'all," But for Marvel, they're like, "Nah, 400, like that's not good enough for us. We make $2 billion movies. Our movies make like 800 million, 900 million, like we close to the Billy Club, under half. So again, this is one of the reasons why I be trying to tell y'all, just because a movie makes a lot of money to you, that does not mean that the studio views that rate of return the same way. They looked at Age of Ultron as a disappointment. That thing made like $1.5 billion. But to them, it was like, yeah, this was disappointing. So yeah, it's all relative, in other words. All right. Now, here's the issue though with Jonathan Majors that is breaking news. It just came out earlier today. And I have to say that this was definitely shocking. Now, before last Friday, when we were talking about Jonathan Majors and his situation, there was something that was in some of the early reports that kind of stood out, but we didn't really understand what it meant. Now, if you've been listening and following what I've talked about with this trial, I've told y'all from the jump, it is super vital, super imperative. It is beyond like you just need to wait on all the information, because we are not in the courtroom hearing everything. We are not hearing and we're not seeing all the video. All we are able to see is what gets leaked to us. And whatever gets leaked to us may or may not be the full picture. So even though until a verdict is said, we do give Jonathan Majors the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. It would not be wise to rush to us judgment until you hear all the evidence. And with that said, just over on Friday, we were talking about how, while for weeks, if not months, we've heard primarily the defense, Jonathan Major's side of events. We've seen their version of the video. We've heard their version of the witnesses. We haven't heard nothing from the DA and the prosecutors. Now, I'm not going to let them off the hook. Yes, we know New York has a long history of bias, corruption, all of that. Find me a courtroom that don't have that. So I'm not saying that they're off the hook. What I am saying, though, is we have not heard how they want to present their evidence. What we have heard is that they presented a new 115-page document that basically was more than enough to keep the trial moving. For everyone that's out there that keeps saying this is a waste of time, Jonathan is innocent, we've seen the evidence. If that were true, this case would have been dismissed already. If we did have enough evidence to prove what, and I'm not saying I believe or don't believe it, I'm just saying there's a reason why this judge looked at all this evidence and said, yeah, we got enough to keep going with this. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm just going off of what's actually happening, not what I want to happen, not what I think, but it's happening. So this might be a bit of a game changer. And I don't think it's something Jonathan Majors really wanted to come out. But now we found out that in that report from the DA, they were looking at the London police. We don't know what the London police had or what they were doing or what that was all about. We was like, yo, what are you talking about? Some sort of incident from 2022, in London. We like, what? We sitting here talking about New York. And what is that? But the DA believed that whatever this London police report thing, apparently that had something to do to help their case. And we have a little more information now. It says here that the London police confirm an ongoing inquiry into physical assault accusations. Police in London have confirmed to Rolling Stone. So this outlet went and talked to the police in London, Rolling Stone. There is an ongoing investigation into a report of physical assaults, plural, leveled against Jonathan Majors amid his domestic violence case. Yikes. It says here last week, the DA, the district attorney office, filed a 115-page response to Majors' legal team's bid to dismiss the case, in which prosecutors disclosed that they had obtained a police report prepared by London's Metropolitan Police that they deemed relevant to their case. Prosecutors noted they had also obtained medical records stemming from a previously unreported incident from September of 2022. This is why we have to wait. This is why we have to wait. I don't know what's in this report. It said here that there was an incident and that it was unreported. So who knows what that means? Maybe there was somebody that filed an accusation against him for physical assault or something. And maybe that person was proven wrong and Jonathan was completely innocent. Maybe that's why it was unreported, because maybe it went nowhere. Or maybe there was an incident. Maybe there were medical records and that person decided not to press charges. And maybe the police or parliament or whatever in London, maybe they didn't want to press charges. But that doesn't mean that something didn't happen, potentially. Let me get some more in there. It says now the Metropolitan Police has confirmed to Rolling Stone that there is an ongoing investigation into the police report, which refers to allegations of physical assaults that were said to have taken place at a London-based area address in September of 2022. Says inquiries are ongoing. No arrests have been made, according to the Met Police spokesperson. So, what does all this mean? For one, we don't know. We don't know. Okay, let me make that very clear. A report was made. People make reports all the time. Reports do not mean conviction. Reports do not mean you are 100% guilty of something. Okay, anybody can make up a report. But the DA in Manhattan is trying to use that report and potentially use that against Jonathan Majors to prove their case. Maybe they're trying to prove a pattern of behavior. Again, we don't know what happened in this report. We don't know what the situation is. But there is one thing that we do know. And one thing that I don't care what side you are on with this does not look good for Jonathan Majors. You wanted this case to be dismissed. You've had your lawyer drop all this evidence and video. And don't get me wrong, the evidence to prove, that no harm was done looks very compelling. I will admit that. But the DA is not giving up. The judge agreed that this trial has to go on. So again, that's not good because it means that you're not 100% innocent in their eyes. And now we're getting news that you had another incident. No charges, no convictions, just another incident. Some would say when there's smoke, there's fire. Because now we have to ask ourselves, what's going on? Rolling Stone, this same, outlet, did a whole long piece about going through all his ex-girlfriends and all the people that he used to talk to and all the people he worked with. And again, we went through all of those. Some of those things, I was like, man, this sound like BS. Some of those things was like, ooh. But at the end of the day, whether he did it or not, whether he's innocent or not, this does not look good. And for an actor, a celebrity whose public image is everything for them, this could hurt Jonathan Majors more than anything. And before, when it came to Marvel, what did they say? Marvel, they were waiting to see what was going to happen with the trial. They were waiting to see whatever. But if you have more incidents, more reports, and then we also heard in the last report that there were certain things that Jonathan Majors' lawyers didn't want to be shown or made public. Could it have been this? Could it be something worse? Maybe it's something embarrassing. I don't know, but at this point, if this gets even worse, if whatever this report, if there's more things that leak, I don't know how he fixes his image. And I think that's going to be a bigger hurdle. Again, these are misdemeanors. Maybe he gets a slap on the wrist. Maybe he does some community service. But damn, the fact that you got articles and headlines constantly saying Jonathan Majors, physical assault, allegations, incidents, brutal conduct. Yikes. So, that's what we got so far. Of course, we are going to, I'll stay on top of this, whatever I can find information. Shout out to She Dreads Me. for putting me on this. Hit me with this last minute. So shout out to you for that. But yeah, this is definitely it's not as cut and dry as I think a lot of people would have hoped it would be. And his trial, I want to say, is November 29th. So yeah, we got to wait and see where it goes. But all right, guys, that's the update that we have with Jonathan Majors and Kang the Conqueror with Marvel. It looks like they were thinking about getting Doctor Doom, back in their, back pocket. They can always recast them. I'm still shooting for John Boyega. And this latest report about whatever happened in London, again, I don't know if it means he's guilty or not. I don't know, but I just know it's not a good look. It's not a good look. But y'all let me know. What do you think about all this? What do you make about this? Does this change your opinion about Jonathan Majors? Does it maybe strengthen your opinion about him? Do you think that this is going to harm his chances of staying Kang the Conqueror? Do you think Marvel should recast? Do you think Marvel should stay with him? Whatever you think, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Let me grab these comments here. How the hell did we get to 2 hours with this? Damn, this one I did not know it was gonna be this long. JN, maybe Yahya Abdul Mateen as Kang. First of all, shout out to Yahya. I've still wanted Yahya to be the next T'Challa. I think that's a role that he could easily do as long as he can nail that accent. He could do that in his sleep. I don't know if I want him as Kang. I haven't seen enough, and I've watched a lot of his stuff. Very, very good actor, but I have not seen him stretch enough in different roles that would let me to believe he could play Kang. Keep in mind, Kang is a very eccentric character. There are many different sides to Kang. You gotta see whatever the actor doing very different things. Not like, oh, one day I'm a little hardcore person here and I'm a nice person there. I mean, like, you got to go from this dude is crazy, this dude is sane, this dude is funny, this dude is, sad and dramatic. Like, you got to go through the gamut, so he wouldn't be my first pick. I know that. But thank you so much for that. Dex, kind of over Kang. Only seen him take L's. Well, to be fair, you also don't know, and we don't know this. We don't know if those L's are part of Kang's plan. There is a theory out there that even the stuff going on in Loki, Kang orchestrates all of this stuff. All the time travel back and forth, all the TVA about to explode, all that, like, Kang is like, yeah, that's me. I did it again. So I wouldn't say he's taking L's until we see the master plan. If there is a master plan at all. I don't know if there is, but it's possible that we haven't seen everything yet. So I would just reserve judgment on it for now. Anthony, what you got? Regardless of the actor's legal issues, Marvel Studios already had considered moving away from Majors-led phase because of the box office performance of Ant-Man via Variety, which is exactly what I just read. But thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate you. But yeah, no, I still say that that was ridiculous. Like, Jonathan Majors was not the cause of that movie not doing well. Matter of fact, it's probably the reason why it made as much money as it did. It probably could have made less. So yeah, I disagree with Marvel's assertion there. Wraith, I'd rather see Boyega be cast to play either Blade, Blue Marvel, Maxim, Vibrat. I don't even know who these are. Who are these people? Deathlock, I know Deathlock, or T'Challa. Golly, you went down in the barrel for those. I don't even know some of those characters. And that's fine. Look, that's actually the beauty of John Boyega as an actor. He could play all those roles. He could play those roles easily, But that's why I'm saying he's better suited as Kang, because it's easier to find one actor that can play one or two characters, but it's harder to find an actor that can play multiple characters. And John Boyega is one of the few that can play multiple characters. Not 2 or 3, not 3 or 4, but like 10. Okay, that's that. They clone Tyrone. Think about whether or not whatever actors y'all putting out there. I've seen a couple names out there. Can whatever actor that you are proposing, could they do what John Boyega did and they clone Tyrone? Could they play all those different versions of the character? If they can, okay, now we got a starting point. If you think they would struggle, if you think they'd be a little too similar, then that actor is not meant to play multiple roles. You can't just put somebody in there and force them if they ain't got the talent, you know. So anyway, all right, guys, that's it. We had almost 400 people in here today. I appreciate y'all so much for that. Thank you, guys. Really means a lot. I don't know. I think we can still do a Friday live. Obviously, this was like the more big juicy news, so you know, we have to get this out the way first. But you know, we definitely got to talk about Loki. Oh my god. Before y'all leave, I just saw the end of Gen V on Amazon Prime, on Prime Video. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the episode for Gen V, if you watch The Boys on Amazon Prime, you will like Gen V. I strongly recommend that the second Gen V comes out, y'all get to watching it, because the things that happen in Gen V will be talked about, they will trend, and the internet will spoil it for you. It is probably one of the shortest episodes. I think it's like 30-something minutes, but dang it, they do a lot in them 30-something minutes, and it is so good. It is so good. So good. Go watch Gen V on Prime Video if you haven't already. Go binge it, watch it. It's great. Very graphic too. So if you're queasy, don't do it. But anyway, thank you guys so much. We will see if we'll see each other on Friday. Epoch is retired. He's done. He's gone, you know. But it is all good either way. I appreciate y'all for putting up with me and these shenanigans. I do it for y'all. at the end of the day. But anyway, you know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Have a fantastic rest of your week until we see each other on Friday. Then we get to do all this all over again. And until next time, guys, I will see y'all later. Peace.
Yo, Pop, Big, can I get you to say a couple words for the camera?
Man, your cam. Nah, I'm f***ing with you. Come on. Hey, yo, check it out, I'm Tupac. I'm chilling here with my homeboy, the notorious B.I.G. on the scene. We about to take y'all by storm. Give them some.
True that. You know, I'm chilling with my man Pac, who helped school me to the game and
they
shit.
know who it is.
You know what I'm saying? Now we about to wreak havoc on you, motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? Sean Dawn sipping. You know what I mean? Frank White, peace hole.
Yeah.
Rolex.